What is up? It's your boy Dyzek of the Dead. I'm trying to do this the right way. I got a microphone and I got headphones on. We're going to see if this works. We're going to test this mofo out. So, we're going to react. We're going to react to my first song. It was after the message, which was a skit. And now the first song on Culture War, my new album, go check it out, is called DOA. So DOA is an acronym for Dead on Arrival, right? It's an acronym for Dead on Arrival. It's a term that's been used a lot by YouTubers like myself. We use DOA. I'm sure it has a lot of other meanings to a lot of other people, but me and my people call it, DOA, because we see a property, something like, I don't know, Marvel's New Warriors, or New Warriors from 2020, and we see that it's like, okay, if you don't know about the New Warriors from 2020, then you need to get caught up on that, because basically, and I'll explain in a lyric here in a minute. They had two superheroes called Snowflake and Safe Space. I shit you not. Those were two new superheroes at Marvel. Comic book got canceled and it got rejected immediately. So that's what DOA means. It's your shit is dead on arrival. Given that I am Dyzek of the Dead, DOA seems like the perfect first song. Dead on arrival. Now, maybe I'm cursing myself. Maybe this is a failed career thing. I have no idea, but we're gonna check this out. I'm already off to a great start in the way that I'm set up. So let's react to this.
Alright, let's go. This my message to the world, one of many, so let's confirm. I'm not a clone, behind the curtain, I killed that shit, butcher's burden. Oh shit.
So, let me take this back a little bit. This my message to the world, one of many, so let's confirm. I'm not a clone, behind the curtain, I killed that shit, butcher's burden. So, my message to the world is like after the message, the skit. One of many. I plan to have many messages in the future. Let's confirm. I'm not a clone, behind the curtain, I killed that shit. So there's a lot of fucking white rappers that are, they're sort of like Eminem clones, or they're clones of their favorite rapper. And most of the time they're like clones of their favorite white rapper too, right? They're like white rapper clones. And I didn't want to just be a white rapper clone. Like, that was sort of my thing, was like I wanted to stand out from being another fucking Slim Shady clone, right? I want to be different. I want to be in my own thing. Sure, I might be coming up in sort of like a country rap sort of lane, or like a nerd rap thing, but I wanted to like stay away from the stereotypical clone shit. And of course I made it kind of violent. It's like, butcher's burden. That's sort of like a title that I think there's a real meaning behind that, but like the way I see butcher's burden, and it probably going to end up a title of a song soon, is sort of a guilt thing, right? It's like a guilt for murdering a poor little innocent baby lamb to turn it into some euros. That's what it's kind of the thing here, right? Is like, it's sort of me having a guilt for murdering an entire genre of rap, which are all these fucking shady clones. These unoriginal brainlets. So
This my message to the world, one of many, so let's confirm. I'm not a clone, behind the curtain, I killed that shit, butcher's burden. Oh shit. But big corporations coming out with that fake shit, and if you don't like it, they call you a racist.
And these big corporations coming out with that fake shit, and if you don't like it, they call you a racist. I mean, I can give you 100 different examples from all sorts of different brands uh, and IPs where this big corporation, whether it's Disney, Nike, Amazon, Coca-Cola, Bud Light, Target, for the last 10 fucking years, we've been seeing identity politics rage over the entire sort of corporate America. And they come out with some fake shit, and people reject it. And then all of a sudden, all the people who rejected it are white supremes. They're Nazis. You know, the racist. So that's sort of what I'm calling out right there.
I'm not the one that's taking the bait. Your new project is DOA. Dead on arrival like snowflake in safe space.
I'm not the one that's taking the bait. Yeah, because that's what it is. Most of the time when they go like, oh, it's, yeah, you're a racist, it's just bait. It's just bait to get you to say something racist so it proves them right. You got to not take the bait. Or just lean into it. Just lean into it, dude. Most of the time it's just fucking bait. What was the other one? It was, I'm not the one that's taking the bait. Your new project is DOA. That was my whole thing, right? You try and bait your own audience, then your new project ends up dead on arrival. You know, when you start by selling a product, when you start by attacking your fans, you sell a product and then you go right after the people you're trying to sell it to, your shit's dead on arrival, dog. People ain't going to buy it. It's going to fucking flop. People are going to boycott it. They don't want to buy something if you're going to insult them, right? And dead on arrival, like Snowflake and Safe Space. Those are the two Marvel characters I was mentioning earlier, the ones who never got off the ground because of Daniel Kibblesmith. He got his new Warriors comic canceled and then immediately fell upwards because after his comic book got canceled, they gave him Blade. They gave this man Blade. He has a book called Santa's Husband. And they gave him Blade after his other book failed. 2020 was fucking crazy.
Project is DOA. Dead on arrival like snowflake in safe space. I want revenge for all that you take. Everything woke, there's no escape. You bastardize a franchise, repurpose, and you duplicate.
So I want revenge for all that you take. Everything woke, there's no escape. And that was sort of my thing, right? Is like, I don't want to use the term woke as much, but this was a point where I was like, yeah, everything's woke. From education to corporate America, your television, your radio, your books, your magazines, healthcare. Like, dude, it's all filled with like far left Marxist ideology. Not that it's like, you know, not that some of it can't be good. It's just like, damn, it's everywhere. You can't avoid it anymore. It's there. Everywhere you have to check your fucking pronouns. You have to check, you know, a certain box for, you know, your ethnicity or like, it's like this sort of, whether that's, I guess that's for healthcare mostly, right? But even so, you still see the identity politics reign everywhere, and it doesn't just fall on the far left side either. The more it bleeds everywhere, the more it gets into the conservative side too, because they're now like, you know, playing victimhood, because that's all identity politics is it's fucking victimhood narratives. It's victimhood narratives, and it's once you start playing the victim on shit, then you start to manifest the idea that you deserve something, right? That you are owed something. So everything woke, there's no escape. Everybody's doing it now. It's like the new thing. It's like the 21st century curse is that everything's fucking woke now. Everything's a victimhood. Everything is identity politics. And it's gay. And you bastardize a franchise, repurpose, and you duplicate. I've seen this 100 times. Hollywood, in particular, they will take a popular existing IP, and then they will bastardize it, you know, and sort of make it not what it once was through the means of identity politics. And then they will repurpose it and duplicate. So you bastardize a franchise, repurpose, and you duplicate. So repurpose, that's all J.J. Abrams. That is all J.J. Abrams right there. He will repurpose a franchise to death. And then they duplicate. They do it over again. They start over. Star Wars dead? We're going to move on to Marvel now. Marvel dead? Let's move on to DC. Let's move on to Indiana Jones. Let's move on to Lara Croft. Let's move on to Harry Potter. Let's move on to Lord of the Rings. We cannot leave a franchise unraped. That's sort of my point.
Deconstruct our heroes, pushing fear in queer notes. Bomb that shit so hard that the IP hits ground zero.
It's like bastardize a franchise, repurpose, and you duplicate. Deconstruct our heroes. So they deconstruct our heroes. Look at Luke Skywalker. Look at Indiana Jones. The character assassinations of Superman, Optimus Prime, fucking Eminem, any Hollywood celebrity, really. Will Smith got his character assassinated. That was at the what was it, the Oscars? Or the Golden Globes? Fuck, who cares? Deconstruct our heroes, pushing fear in queer notes. Again, propagandizing the culture is pushing fear, making everybody afraid of their neighbors, or calling them names, or saying that you can't interact with somebody because you disagree with them. And then queer notes, I mean, tell me a DC superhero that isn't gay. In 2024, tell me a DC superhero that isn't some sort of rainbow person. Can you do it? Can you explain to me a superhero, pushing fear and queerness? Give me a Disney show made in the last 5 years that's not gay. I'm not saying homosexuality bad, but I am saying it's all gay. Bomb that shit so hard that the IP hits ground zero. So, bomb that shit so hard, I mean, that speaks for itself, right? Whenever you start doing this shit, your movie flops. People boycott you. Bomb that shit so hard that the IP hits ground zero. That the intellectual property, IP, hits ground zero. Ground zero, I mean, I think that might have been in poor taste, but it worked perfectly because when you bomb that shit, boom, gone, destroyed, ground zero. So.
Sucks for you, the money's in danger. Probably should stop peddling anger. You argue with a hollow point. All I hear is an echo chamber.
Sucks for you, the money's in danger, because that's all they really care about. They don't actually care about these causes. It's a game to them. It's identity politics to corporations. It's just a game. They don't care about that stuff. They don't care about the cause. They care about the money. Sucks for you, the money's in danger. Probably should have stopped peddling anger. Probably should stop peddling anger, dog. They argue with a hollow point. When I say hollow point, I mean most of the time it's vapid, surface level, stupid, retarded arguments that they have that don't make no sense. They argue with a hollow point. All I hear is an echo chamber. So every time they say something stupid, that's, they don't have a point that makes any sense. It's a hollow point, and they just sound like they're coming from an echo chamber. Like they're just bouncing off whatever everybody else that they agree with says. They can't think for themselves. That's a double entendre because hollow point, like the bullet, and echo chamber, like why do I have to break this down? Why do I have to break my metaphors down like this?
Yeah! Fuck you! The Iron Age is coming. And we're leaving all you motherfuckers behind. This is the culture war. Bitch! Attack the fans, you smoking crack, you falling off, you ain't coming back. You virtue signal your punchlines, you talk shit, you get smacked. Bitch.
Attack the fans, you smoking crack. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I think that whole verse is pretty explanatory right there. Excuse me. Attack the fans, you smoking crack, you falling off, you ain't coming back. Yeah, that's the result of pissing off your audience. You virtue signal your punchlines, you talk shit, you get smacked. You virtue signal your punchlines. basically they push these narratives and they come up with these sort of logos and catchy sort of like, I don't know, punchlines. It's a perfect way to say it. Your punchlines that are virtue signals. That are virtue signals. It's supposed to be seen as some sort of virtue that they take a certain position. So you virtue signal your punchlines, and punchlines. Yeah, it's like you virtue signal your punchlines. You talk shit. You get smacked. You get smacked punchlines. Fuck. Why am I doing this?
There's white meat, they ain't like me. Most of them wanna fight me, but I don't care, dog. Talk your shit.
So, oh wait.
Just know that you might bleed.
Virtue signal punchlines. You talk shit. You get smacked. There's white meat, they ain't like me. So. There's white meat that ain't like me is sort of like, what I mentioned earlier, all the other rappers, all the other white rappers, they're white meat, dog. Y'all are white meat, and they ain't like me. They ain't like me. I'm actually pretty bitter that I am seeing a whole country rap scene where a bunch of white rappers are thriving, and it's an independent scene where they don't have to deal with a lot of mainstream bullshit like guest and hip hop conversations, because they're kind of in their own lane, right? What triggers me though, what makes me bitter, is that not a single one of these fuckers are from Texas. Not one that I've seen. Not a single one of them. I'm from Pasadena. I'm on the outskirts, like the redneck side of Pasadena, on the outskirts of Houston. I'm not going to sit here and claim that I'm ghetto or that I'm like overtly country or some shit. Like, but bro, if you're in Texas, even in the city, you're more country than most of these fuckers. Because that's just Texas. Texas is built different, dog. So I'm not going to sit here and fucking lie to my audience about, oh, I was raised in the country. Oh, I was raised on the street, bro. I'm tough shit. I ain't going to lie to you like that. These white meat, they ain't like me. I'm just here to spit. I'm here to give y'all my story and how I feel, right? So there's white meat, they ain't like me. Most of them want to fight me. They're probably gonna. They're probably gonna see me as a threat, and they're gonna try and take me out. Not like, oh, pew pew, take me out. Not like, I ain't Tupac, but like sabotage. People are gonna see me as a threat. I mean, damn, man, look at the cover. Look at the cover of my album, bro. That's going to piss some people off. And I've already explained in my other video, I believe, about the image. But, there's white meat, they ain't like me. Most of them are trying to fight me. But I don't care, dog. Talk your shit. Talk your shit. Because, we all have this platform, YouTube, to express ourselves. Everybody's welcome here. As long as you're not like, doing something dangerous, but like, talk your shit. Just know that you might bleed. If you come step into me and you talk your shit, you are at the risk of getting annihilated. Whether it's in the ring or on the mic, you are at risk. You might bleed. I'm not saying that you will. You might be better than me. What I am saying is you are at the risk of it, because I am a dirty, dirty dog. I will fuck you up.
Bounty puffer, river dog, Dedshot, kill them all. Capping jacks like Steve Rogers, you red and crippled, Darth Maul.
Bounty pupper, river dog, Dedshot, kill them all. That's what I was saying. Bounty pupper, river dog, Dedshot, kill them all. Capping jacks like Steve Rogers, you red and crippled, Darth Maul. So I'm capping jacks like Captain Jack Sparrow. Captain Jack's like Steve Rogers, Captain America, Steve Rogers. I mean, the Steve Rogers is Captain America, let's be real. You red and crippled, Darth Maul, because Darth Maul was red and crippled. Why am I doing this?
Hypocrites are on my list, but you can't find the glove that fits. You live in a house of 1,000 corpses voting for dead presidents.
So hypocrites are on my list. Yeah, watch out, hypocrites. But you can't find the glove that fits. That's a O.J. Simpson reference. Yeah, it basically was there to rhyme. I don't remember the purpose of it mostly. But you can't find the glove that fits. You live in a house of 1,000 corpses voting for dead presidents. So that's a multi-layered bar there. House of 1,000 Corpses is a movie by Rob Zombie that I really much enjoy, even though it's fucking trash. I love that movie to death. Um, you live in a house of 1,000 corpses. So I'm always hearing this guest in hip hop conversation. Excuse me. This guest in the house of hip hop thing is started by Lord Jamar, who's a race baiting, angry, bitter old man who hasn't done anything since the 90s. He has not been relevant in like 2 decades. And he got mad at Eminem for existing. People were bullying him, I guess, about Eminem being the greatest rapper alive, even though he's white. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's wrong in his position. What I am saying is the fact that he's let it get to him so bad that now he's like, that's what he's known for. I couldn't tell you a single Lord Jamar song. I could just tell you that he's bitter over Eminem. I'm sure maybe I heard some of his songs back in the day or something by mistake, but like, what has he done? Nobody ever talks about him unless it's about this guest of hip hop thing. So this metaphorical fictional house of hip hop, you need to have a street cred card if you're white to get in. Otherwise, you'll be pissing on the lawn or something. In this fictional house. So when I said you live in a house of 1,000 corpses, that's what I mean. Is this fictional house of hip hop, whether it's real life corpses of people, rappers, great rappers who have passed away, or if it's failed rappers like Lord Jamar, who are in there, all DOA, with a bunch of other rappers who either got big and quit or never had it in the first place. Because hip hop is a large game. It's a very large game with a lot of people in it, and not everybody makes it. Not everybody's successful, and the ones who are successful don't keep it for very long, or they excel to a point where they're untouchable. Who knows what happens to them? Every story varies, right? But when I say House of 1,000 Corpses, I mean, like, how you gonna, throw rocks inside a glass house, basically, right? It is, you live in a house of 1,000 corpses voting for dead presidents. Dead presidents. These are the kind of people that voted for Joe Biden. Dead presidents. Also, the term dead presidents meaning, money. The dead presidents on the dollar bill. So these people are voting for money. Whether it's to spend money or they're voting because they got paid to vote or something like that. And that's just in the election season. The point of the line is that you cannot virtue signal and try an integrity measure with people when you don't stand on good ground. When your own integrity, it can be bought. When your own integrity is weak, right? So you live in a house of 1,000 corpses voting for dead presidents. Shit go hard.
Tombstone for dead kings, seen the void in dreams, warnings from the future, and I've seen some of them stranger things.
Tombstone for dead kings. Yeah. R.I.P. dead kings. Y'all be next. Tombstone for dead kings, seen the void in dreams. I've had some trippy experiences, and believe me, I'm not a druggie, right? I don't think I've ever smoked marijuana. I don't think I've ever done any hard drugs, and I've still experienced some trippy shit. Like in my dreams and when I sleep, I've had out of body experiences. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm overthinking a dream. But I've definitely had some experience in the past with prescription medications. That might have a factor into it. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not saying I'm over here. I'm special. I have superpowers. Ooh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I've seen some weird shit, and not intentionally. Not intentionally. So it's I've seen the void in dreams. Warnings from the future, and I've seen some of them Stranger Things. I've actually never seen Stranger Things. I've never watched the Netflix show Stranger Things. People might be surprised by that. I'm not. I'll watch it eventually. I'll get there for sure. But warnings from the future. I can see all this shit coming. I know what's about to happen. I've seen other artists who have been warning me, or warning me as a young artist what to watch out for. So I'm getting warnings from the future, and I'm seeing some of them Stranger Things.
Weaponize the media, about to settle the score. Your DOA, I ain't giving up. This is the culture war.
So I'll let that play out for a little bit. Weaponize the media, about to settle the score. So the people who are my ops, they're going to try and weaponize the media. And they're going to, I'm about to settle the score against them. Weaponize the media, about to settle the score. Your DOA, I ain't giving up. This is the culture war. So a lot of this song is pretty self-explanatory. There's nothing like super hard to dive into in terms of like metaphors and wordplay. But to explain myself and why I feel a certain way with some of these bars, is why I made this video. To sort of, because I knew some people would be asking me questions. Why did you say this bar? Why do you feel this way? Why are you doing anything with your life? You get that sometimes, right? The DOA, I ain't giving up. This is the culture war. So, culture war was never going to be easy. So I hope you enjoyed DOA. That song goes hard in my fucking truck. So, yeah. This video has gone on very long. Very long. These videos are probably going to be long. I hope this shit works. So thank y'all for watching Dyzek of the Dead. I will see y'all in the next one. Ciao. Don't smoke crack.